Welcome to day 4 of the How to Make Money Online 30-day challenge. Today's topic I'm super excited about. It is print on demand. And I'm sure that everybody's heard about print on demand before and heard about what it does. You're likely to have seen a print on demand either website or design or shop somewhere online. The big ones really are like, Etsy is really big for being a print on demand shop in terms of selling custom shirts, that kind of thing. So print on demand is basically like the gist of it is you create a design somewhere and whatever your graphic design program of choice is, and what you're going to do is once you create the design, then you post it up to a print supplier. And we're talking about like Printful, Printify, Teespring, Zazzle, Redbubble. All of those are print on demand houses. And once you have the design, they will print the design for you on a t-shirt, a hoodie, a sweatshirt, a mug, a sticker, a cell phone case. The list goes on and on and on. But the cool part is it's kind of like a set and forget type thing. So once you actually create the design, that's kind of like the hard work. And then you go through and you're going to put the design out there. And if somebody orders the design on your site, then you're going to get a cut. So basically like you get a commission, or you get a cut of whatever the cost is. So when you're designing it, and we'll go through this a little bit later here in the live stream, but when you design it, and then you can set the price and all that. So you can really determine how much profit you're going to make, in regards to your other expenses and that kind of thing. So before we start, I need to get something to drink. So I'm going to open me up a zero sugar. I don't know if you can see it. Zero sugar cherry soda. It's not too bad, actually. Let's get that thing going. And then we're going to dive right into print on demand. Of course, got it on my hands. Okay, so first we're going to talk about, let's kind of break down what is print on demand. We kind of talked about it a little bit before. So print on demand basically it's a business model that allows individuals or brands to create and sell printed merchandise on products. And you don't need any large upfront investment or inventory. So that means that you don't have to house, this huge pile of like t-shirts and stickers and mugs and, wall art and that kind of thing. So all you need to do is create the design once, you put it on whatever the product is, and then that's it. So that is the gist. So print on demand enables you to print such items like, also books, apparel, accessories. There's a wide range of products that you can create on print on demand. So really the thought, I think kind of more of the hard or the more challenging part is actually coming up with the designs that actually sell. So, hey Newman, how you doing? We're talking about print on demand. So we have a 30-day challenge going on right now. Every day we're talking about a different business model online that you can make money from. Today is day 4. We're talking about print on demand. Feel free to stick around and learn a little something about print on demand. So, okay, we're gonna break down print on demand in a little outline type thing. Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Welcome from the Netherlands. Hey, I'm in the United States, so that's where I'm from, in Colorado. So thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate it. So do you guys have any experience with print on demand at all, or different business models online? So we're going to be working with print on demand today, and just kind of talking about going through an outline. And thank you very much. Thank you. It is shiny. All right. So, yeah, you guys feel free to kind of stick around and we can hang out and talk about this. So, basically, for print on demand, we talked about the definition of print on demand and we talked about the benefits of print on demand where you don't need to hold any inventory. Um, and we're going to talk about kind of like a brief overview of the print on demand process. So, hey Keegan, how you doing? Hey, mister. Hey, if you guys let's kind of keep the comments down a little bit. We want to make sure that it's just kind of strictly about print on demand. So if you guys want to stay here and learn, that's awesome. So just try to keep the comments down to the chat down to something that relates to kind of print on demand. So okay, so here's kind of how it works. So first off, what you're gonna do is you're gonna create the design, and then you're gonna choose your platform, and then you're gonna upload your design to the platform, and then you want to set up an online store. So whether that be setting it up and integrating with another e-commerce platform, something like Shopify, something like Redbubble, Zazzle, Printify, Printful. Those are all excellent ideas and excellent options for you to actually. Those are actually the print houses of print on demand. So those are the core print on demand. So and then after you do the online store, you kind of get it integrated with e-commerce platforms. Then you're going to handle the custom orders, kind of in this order. And then production and shipping is handled by the POD, the print on demand provider. So, so here are kind of like some of the key components to print on demand as a whole. So you have the designers or the creators, which is one, and then you have the POD service providers, which is actually the suppliers, and then break it down. The third part is the e-commerce platform. So like Shopify, Etsy, Redbubble, Zazzle, any kind of marketplace that you can think of that you can actually promote and house or your designs. And then finally, the last component of this is obviously the customer. So that's the end goal, is that you want to have somebody actually that is going to buy your product. How you guys doing out there? It's the chat here is definitely live so far, and we're only 7 minutes in. It's you guys always make it exciting. So, does anybody have any questions real quick before we get started? So, my name is Ryan. It's nice to meet you. New Numa. How are you? Yeah, we'll talk about the marketing. We're just gonna kind of go through the process real quick, do a high level kind of overview, and we'll definitely get to the marketing. Have you tried print on demand before? New Mana? Have you tried that? Okay, so we're gonna move on. So next, we're gonna talk about some of the beginner questions. Hey G, nice to meet you. Thanks so much for joining. So we're going to talk about some of the common beginner questions for print on demand when someone is just getting started. So the first one is going to be, what kind of products can I sell with print on demand? So does anybody out there, did anybody know, can you list maybe some products in the chat that you could think of to sell with print on demand? Just let me know, like, what are some of your ideas? Does anybody have any ideas about what you can actually sell? Perfume? I don't think you can sell perfume with print on demand. It's more of like you're printing a design like on a t-shirt or a mug or that kind of thing. So you can do t-shirts, you can do mugs, you can do sweatshirts, you can do hoodies, you can do like bath mats, rugs, all that kind of stuff. So yep. Hey Philip, how you doing? Hey Rich, how you guys doing? Good to have you guys here. So we are doing a 30-day challenge, how to make money online. Every day is going to be a different topic, a bit different business model. Hey Daniel, thanks for the comment. Appreciate it. Every day is going to be a different business model. So yesterday we talked about what did we talk about yesterday? I already forgot. Drop shipping. So yesterday was drop shipping. We talked about before that. We talked about what was it? Affiliate marketing, and then we did blogging. So yeah, so we're doing 30 days straight of live streams. So um, my eyes are like crossing already from doing this. So we're going from June 12th to July 12th. So definitely, if you guys would like to hang out and be a part of this challenge with us, it's totally free. It's all about educating and learning, and maybe learning a new business model. All you got to do really is just subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, and then you'll know when we go live. So um, okay, I'm gonna, before I actually kind of dive into this a little further, do you guys have any questions out there? Rich, Daniel, Philip, anybody who is out there that's interested in learning about print on demand? Is there anything that you want specifically to be covered, or just kind of learning for the overall? I'm just curious. I just want to make sure we can have a good interaction, that kind of thing. Okay, well, you guys think about it. If you have, hey Johnny, how you doing? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love to interact with you guys. Just, do me a favor and just kind of, I mean, try to keep the spamming stuff, down a little bit, so we can learn. If that way, we can all kind of learn. So that'd be awesome. I appreciate it very much. So I would say, so that's a great question, Philip. So where's the best place to sell print on demand? Shopify is the question. So Shopify, the way that I look at it, Shopify is like basically like the crown jewel, or the basically like the gold standard for e-commerce shop. Um, yeah, so I would say Shopify. You don't so I think Shopify, you can kind of take that and you can kind of use it. So like, if you have a Shopify store, on one side, but then you also have like maybe an Etsy store, you have, Printify or Printful, whoever the supplier is. I think you can have multiple. You don't have to just have one, but I do think that Shopify is absolutely a great idea, 100%. They just make e-commerce so easy that, it's almost a no-brainer to go with Shopify. But I don't think that that should be the only one that you go with. So yeah, so I would say another big one that's similar but not exactly the same is, of course, Etsy. I know you guys are probably familiar with Etsy out there. So Etsy is an online marketplace that primarily specializes in custom anything, whatever you can imagine. It's on Etsy. So, and people do sell print on demand shirts and hoodies and stuff like that on Etsy too. So, um, I would say if you're looking to kind of go right to the source and go where the market is, then I would say start with Etsy. And if you want to just kind of get your foundation set up and you trying to kind of fumble through and try to learn, I think a Shopify store is also a great like kind of like side addition. So I wouldn't say don't choose just one, but the more you can, the better. Yeah, for sure. So I think the last time I checked, Shopify was like 29 bucks a month, I think, just to have your store online. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure. Philip, have you looked into it? Do you know by chance off the top of your head? Like, if you looked into it like fairly recently, Shopify? The last time I did Shopify, man, it was like 2016, 17, 18, and I was doing drop shipping. And I had a Shopify store that I was in the pet niche. And, we did okay. We didn't do like crazy, crazy numbers, but, a couple $100 a month, that kind of thing. Had orders from, like Canada, had some in Europe, had some overseas. So it was cool. It was a good experience. Hey, thank you so much, Deborah. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. That made my day seeing you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by and stopping in. That means a lot. Thank you. I hope you have a great day too and a great weekend. It's so nice to hear from you. So Yep. So I think definitely like, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so you've been paying for a little bit, for a few months, but you haven't set up your store. Okay. So are you paying, so you're just to kind of like, get on the same page, Philip. So you're paying for Shopify, whatever the monthly is, but you don't have your store set up, right? Is that kind of how, I just want to make sure, we're kind of on the same page. Yeah, you were drop shipping in 2017 too. Dang, man. Yeah, me too. LED grow lights didn't make much. Yeah, I think back then, for me, like back then it was all about dude, Facebook ads was like the thing back then, I think. As far as, the way to promote for drop shipping, Facebook ads was like basically king back then. And now it's like if you're drop shipping, it's kind of like moved over to like TikTok is what I've heard. I haven't really gotten into it like too deep, but um so hey Winnie, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. So for those of you who just popped in, this is a 30-day challenge. How to make money online. Every single day, I'm going to go live for 30 days. I started on June 12th. Today's day 4. So we're talking about print on demand today. So you guys came to the right place if you wanted to learn about a new business model. And basically, the whole point behind this entire challenge is not to sit here and have you guys watch me make money and do all that. It's really just a high level kind of overview for like information to kind of maybe spark some interest if you might want to explore one of these business models. And that's kind of that's a thought behind the entire challenge, is to really educate people and maybe give them an insight into something they didn't know existed, or they didn't think about, or maybe they were a little kind of nervous to try. So um, definitely, I love interacting, and would love to have you guys interact back with me. So I'm gonna kind of keep going. I have some beginner questions here that I got submitted, so I'm gonna go through and talk about those. Um, so the next question is, how much does it cost to start? So this is kind of like, you can kind of make this question, or the answer is, you know, I- technically, I mean, you're going to need some sort of like tools to get started to build or to create your designs. I mean, you can do it in Canva for free if you'd like to. So in that sense, it doesn't cost anything. And then you can sign up for like, I know Teespring, and I'm going to show you guys that a little bit later here. Teespring is a print on demand, basically printing house that is free. You don't have to pay anything. So if you did Canva for free to start creating your designs, and then you did Teespring, there would be zero out of pocket. So that's just an example of something that's totally, totally free. So we can definitely kind of, and you can kind of go up as you get more experience. If you wanted to pay right out the gate, you know, there's things like, you know, I know that there's Printiful and Printify, I believe both also have free, um, they both also have free memberships. But like everything else, everybody has a little bit of a bump. So there's a little bit of a premium in terms of, the next tier up, you pay this much a month or whatever. But if you're really just getting started, I don't think that that's necessary. I think you can absolutely do it for free, 100%. So next up is, how do I choose the right POD platform? So if you hear me say POD, if you're not familiar with that, it just means print on demand. So just in case you guys hear that, you're like, oh, what's he talking about? So how do I choose the right POD platform? I don't think that there's really a wrong platform necessarily. I mean, because if you're looking at maybe ease of use, pricing, if that's what you're looking for, um, maybe the different products that they sell. So I think what I would do personally is I would actually sign up for maybe 3 or 4 of the free ones. So yeah, yeah, definitely. Philip, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, because the images are AI and they're not copywritten, they're like totally unique. You definitely can. So I would just make sure that your pixels are like, 4,500 pixels by like 5,000 pixels. You want the design, and obviously you want to save it as like a PNG. So the extreme higher quality you can get, um, you definitely want that, because when you're going to put it on a shirt, you want it to be like crystal clear, especially if it's got like a ton of colors. Um, I would say like, so yes, it can be done if you want to make, shirts from images on Midjourney, but I think the more simple design and the more simple kind of layout and structure might work a little bit better just because it might be a little cheaper to actually print the shirt in terms of if you don't have a lot of colors and a lot of designs and kind of, intricate shapes and all that kind of stuff all over the place. I think if you keep it as kind of simple as you can, at least to start, because you don't want to just go crazy wacky, like have, some like Picasso painting with a bunch of different colors and stuff, and then try to sell that, because a print shop is probably going to charge you more depending on how many colors are on the shirt. I mean, obviously, you can kind of tweak that by saying, okay, well, then I'm gonna raise the cost of my shirt, to kind of like increase my margin, how much I make. But it's really gonna be up to you. So um, I just wanted to point this out real quick. So this shirt that I'm wearing, let me see if I can back up. I don't know if you guys can see that. This shirt that I'm wearing is actually a print-on-demand shirt that I created a couple years ago. It was promoting a local Colorado clothing brand. So it says CO is lit, coislit.com. And basically what it is I saw everybody here in Colorado like really having pride for the state that they live in. And so I was trying to like build up, create designs around people's love for the state of Colorado. And yeah, so the store is actually still up and I'll get sales here and there. I don't really promote it or anything, but it's still online and this is an example of a print on demand shirt. So basically like a black shirt, regular like crew neck shirt with, white text or the white logo, whatever. It's smooth. It's really smooth. I mean, it's a nice high quality shirt. So um yeah, you know what? Fill up posters. That would probably be more your way to go for sure, honestly, because when you think about it, you're just printing this high quality, high res image on a, I'm not even sure what a poster like fabric or material is. Like, I know obviously paper, but like, is it like a glossy or, something? I mean, you can even do like, I know they have like uh, canvas wall art, they have posters, they have, you know, flag probably wouldn't work, but yeah, definitely for like a wall poster. I think that would probably work actually if it's more intricate because when you think about it, you're not actually printing it on fabric. Um, you don't want to have the chance of the fabric like running or bleeding or anything like that. But if you print it on an actual like we'll just call it paper, like a poster size, I think you got a better shot of making it look more professional and standing out. So for sure, I would say give it a shot, man. Seriously, like do it like come up with some ideas and do you have like any experience with like SEO or like keyword research, that kind of thing? What are you kind of thinking about creating the images about? So as far as like what would your topic be, like what kind of images are you going to be creating? Do you kind of have an idea in your mind yet, or okay, so I'm gonna wait while you hi sweetums, so happy to have you here. Oh, it is all good. No worries. Seriously, no problem at all. No worries. No worries. You you missed in the very beginning. We had some interesting characters. Literally it was like the first 6 minutes, but it's all good. I was quick with the so it's all good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Um, so I was just chatting with Philip here about creating AI images, and we're talking about putting them on posters versus shirts, and as far as like the amount of colors and that kind of thing, as far as what kind of medium you would want. Yeah, yeah, right. Yep, yep, absolutely. Yeah, I thought I would. For those of you who haven't done one of these before, these live streams with us, usually we do a little bit later in the United States time, so like 6, 7, 8 p.m. But I thought let's just switch it up a little bit and let's try a little bit earlier and see who we can get to come in. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, Philip, I think that's great. That's super cool. I've actually never heard of Christian fantasy, but I think that's awesome. I think that's super, super cool. So, which POD has the best quality shirt? You know what? I mean, you know, Sweetums here definitely has some POD experience. So I'm sure that Sweetums is able to kind of help give us some insight to, kind of some of these questions that, some beginners have. Um, so I'll take a stab at answering the question. So I mean, I think for the most part, all the shirts, I don't want to say all the shirts are the same because they're not, like all the quality of the shirts, but I know every different print on demand, um, like, print house or supplier, like Printful, Printify, Teespring, all that, they all definitely have very high quality material, like for shirts, that kind of thing. So I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest. Um, yep. Yep. As Sweetums mentioned, Printify and Printful are the top two. So those are definitely like, if you're looking for like the top, the most popular ones that everybody uses, you can't go wrong with either one of those, in my opinion. It really just comes down to, obviously, like we kind of talked before, like pricing. If you choose to pay for pricing, I mean, you can obviously do some of this stuff for free, but you may just have to dig in a little bit. There we go. That's perfect. Thank you, Sweetums. So, Philip, you see that? You want to sell the Bella and Canvas 3001 and Gildan 5000 and Comfort Colors C17. So all of those are actual like type of shirts. So the actual shirt itself. So when you go through and you're looking at different the print on demand houses, like if you focus on Printful and Printify, I would definitely say, like Sweetums suggested, stick to those. If you're gonna do t-shirts, stick to those as far as like the medium or the t-shirt that you're gonna print on. So just go down and scroll down through the list and find, where the t-shirts are, and then make sure that if you're able to have those selected, um, those are definitely gonna be the highest quality. So definitely go after those. Sweetums, you missed it when I got in and I poured some cherry 7 up in this cup, and of course it started dribbling down, and I'm like, are you kidding me? We weren't even like 2 minutes in. I'm like, that sounds about right. So I put it on the ground. I'm like, oh, so it's probably just, staining the carpet right now. That's all right. It was on my hands, and I'm like, I'm live and it's on my hands. So, okay. So let's continue on. So, um, the next question is, and this is like the age old question of, everybody asks this all the time, whether you have no experience, middle, intermediate experience, or expert, you've been doing this for years. How do I market my POD products? So, I, I mean, there's so many different ways that you can market your products. I think, usually on this channel, we try to focus on more of like the free side of things. So, if we're going to take like Facebook ads out of it, if we don't want to run any ads, and let's just say you have barely any money to start. So, we're not going to talk about paid ads. So, social media is definitely the in my opinion one of the best ways to start. So on top of actually like making sure that your SEO for your individual listings and your keywords and your description and title, besides that, and that's kind of like more, I think, kind of more like the common sense, like the obvious part of getting traffic on whatever platform you choose. But let's say, I would stick to something like Instagram and Pinterest, because both of those are really, really heavy in terms of images and videos. And that's really what they specialize in. So, not to mention, there's an insane amount of traffic on both of those. So, Philip said, I have a Flat Earth FB group, 20, wow, 20,000 members. Dude, that's awesome. Congratulations. Yeah, no, that's perfect. That 20,000 members, that is awesome. Congratulations on that. That's really cool. I think that right there is a perfect example. Like if that is your little slice of social media, if your Facebook group is where you want to start, dude, go. That's it. Hit that, and yeah, I would just say like, kind of some common sense. You definitely don't want to like spam anybody, right? I mean, that's kind of like a Captain Obvious moment, but you just want to make sure that you do it in such a way that you're not just cramming down, your t-shirts or your mugs or whatever you're making down people's throats. And maybe what you can do is your Facebook group, is it public? Philip? Is it a public group? Because if it is, I don't know if you might be able to do this in private, if it's a private group too, but um, okay, public group. Okay. So you can create like a featured post, and you probably already know this, so I apologize if you already know this, but you can create a post and then make it featured post just specifically on on a Facebook group. And then what you can do is it'll be like at the top. It's kind of like a pinned comment basically. So it's always going to be at the top. So when you have new members come in, it doesn't matter how many different posts or how many different as the feed goes on, it doesn't really matter because it's going to stay at the top. And basically, I'm just mentioning that because you can put together a nice little post and something that, is really enticing and saying, hey, maybe you guys want to check this out. What is it called again? Flat Earth. So this is a Flat Earth t-shirt or a hoodie or whatever, and um, I think the best thing to do is maybe if you can add images to your post and add some images of your designs. But when you do the link, I would say do the link to like the main shop. So don't necessarily do it directly to one particular design, unless of course you're really sold on one design. Otherwise, I would say if you do it to the main shop, then you have a better chance of a lot of people seeing like all of your other your catalog of stuff. So and that would obviously that's like totally free. So okay. So how many how many is it SKU? Philip, is that what you're asking? How many SKUs should you start with? So do you mean like how many different designs or like different shirts, products? Okay. Um I mean it's really up to you. I mean, I think to be honest, like um and I know Sweetums can definitely pop in and kind of give their insight too, but you want to make sure that what you're creating is something that people are going to want. And I know that sounds a little kind of, not necessarily harsh, but like if you create something and you think is good, but nobody else is interested in it, then it's kind of like, well, I don't want to say you wasted your time because you don't. You for sure won't waste your time, but you just got to kind of see like what people might want. So like maybe what you can do is there you go. Great. What I was going to say is maybe what you can do is you could maybe do like a poll. Can you do a poll within your Facebook post? And you could say, I'm thinking about creating some merch potentially. Don't use the word potentially, but I'm thinking about creating some merch. Would anybody be interested in like a t-shirt or like a hoodie or, like a mug or whatever, and do like a poll with like a couple of different selections. And that way, at least you're kind of trying to engage your audience. I mean, 20,000 people, and that is phenomenal. That's a large, large group. So that's a great size group. So you're bound to have, um, at least something just to kind of like pull the audience. And if you have crickets, then you know that nobody's interested in it. But, maybe just kind of instead of trying to like really push it down their throat at first, take a poll and see if people would be interested in kind of, buying merch, that kind of thing. There we go. That's a great idea, Sweetums. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, no, and that, that's a big part of it too, is like the research side of it, right? So I think it's easy to kind of maybe not necessarily ignore that, but you don't know what you don't know kind of thing. So in order to be successful, I know, obviously, especially if you're going to try to compete on like an uber popular like an Etsy, where everybody, you know, and their mother, so to speak, has designs and shirts and this and that and that kind of thing. So if my advice, Philip, is definitely follow what Sweetums said. Follow what Sweetums said, and cool. That's awesome, Sweetums. See that, Philip? I mean, you're getting some great advice here. And I gotta be honest, I'm not even sure what that is, what flat earth shirt is, but that's okay. It's all good. But if you have a okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Sweetums, for providing that information. Um, yeah, so another thing you gotta think of, Philip, is just make sure that when you're kind of going through and doing these designs, I know you said that you're going to create AI designs, which is great because, obviously the last thing you want to do and you shouldn't do is use any sort of copyright material or trademark material in any way, shape, or form. So if you want to take this seriously and actually try to make this a business for yourself, definitely do it the right way. Do it the right way. Uh, um, do it the right way to start off. Right on. Okay. Got it. Okay. Yeah, no. So, it sounds like you have the audience. I mean, for sure. Um, yeah, you definitely have the audience, which is cool. So I would say definitely do a poll, make it a featured post, and see if anybody would even be interested in, possibly getting merch. I think that might be kind of like the first sense. And if you don't get really like the response that you were hoping to get, don't get too down on yourself. I mean, there's always, I mean, you know how many billions of people are out there. So there's always people that are willing to, that are looking for stuff. So just because maybe your Facebook group doesn't have like maybe they're not the most excited about it, um, that's not a problem. So it's not a big deal. So you can always go to like these other print on demand like houses and, or shops and start creating designs there. So, no, but that was great. So, okay, so next up is um, thank you, King. I appreciate that. I hope you're here to learn about print on demand. Okay, so the next question that we usually hear about from beginners is what are their typical profit margins? So I would say um, what I'm thinking or what I've kind of like seen and definitely Sweetums. Hey Norbitz, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Um, Sweetums, would you say about 15 to 20% would be like a typical profit margin, or is that too high? Do you think? And I know there's a lot that goes into that. Hey, you're welcome, Philip. Anytime, definitely, for sure. Like we'd love to have you stick around. If you want to be around for the rest of this challenge, we're going live until July 12th. So yeah, we'd love to have you subscribe if you want to hang out. So appreciate it. Yeah, so the profit margin I think is something that there's a lot that goes into that because I feel like there's a lot of testing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Philip. That means a lot. Thank you for your support. Yeah, there's the profit margin is something where I think it's in terms of it can kind of fluctuate, I think. So, oh, 20 to 30%. Nice. Okay. Cool. That's good. That's higher than I thought. Awesome. Thank you, Sweetums. That's cool. So we were kind of talking about, obviously you have, if you're doing like Shopify, cool. Thank you, King. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, print on demand is a business model where basically like you create designs and then you sell them on t-shirts, mugs, hats, stickers, towels, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I appreciate that. So, um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we were talking about Philip was saying like if you were gonna open a Shopify store and then kind of direct your print on demand business into the Shopify store, and then you got to kind of think about what are the expenses like for Shopify itself. But not just that, but also like maybe the tools that you're using. We talked about Canva a little bit, and you can do a lot of this stuff depending on how in depth you want to get. There's definitely probably going to be some expenses for sure. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Norbert. No problem. Okay, so okay, so here's what we've covered so far. So we talked about what print on demand is, kind of like a really high level. The benefits of print on demand, basically not having to have an inventory of like t-shirts, hat stickers, that kind of stuff, like physical products. We talked about a brief like overview of the process, um, of what print on demand is. And so then we talked about, yep. So we talked about creating the design a little bit. Sure. Yeah, no problem. Creating the design. We talked about choosing a platform, POD platform. Um, we talked about like uploading the designs a little bit, just kind of like high level, and then setting up a store and basically like, the customer service side of it. So we kind of just touched really high level, more of like a bullet point list versus really kind of deep diving. So now we're kind of on to some beginner questions. And so we were just talking about the profit margins right now. So the next one that this is something that I think is easily overlooked, but at the same time is incredibly important. And the question is, how do I handle customer service and returns? So I think a lot of people, um, I think overlook it in a sense, in terms of, oh, I'm not gonna, because it's print on demand, I'm not gonna interact with the customer. Um, but we know now that obviously Etsy, we know has a 24-hour window from when you have to actually reply to the customer. So these big, um, like, I guess custom marketplaces, custom shop marketplaces, they're really trying to make the customer service experience like a really high priority and really like a five-star experience for the customer too, not just the seller or not just the creator. So yep. So we talked, Norbits. We talked a little bit about Shopify, not really like the details of kind of setting up the store, but we talked about kind of what that means and kind of how you can integrate Shopify. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. We'd love that. While you're doing that, Sweetums, I'm gonna refill my drink. Yep. So Sweetums is saying most people have a no refunds or exchanges policy, but if you actually allow for a 14-day return or exchange or refund policy, you definitely have a leg up on all the competition. I can totally understand that because, I think when you think about print on demand, um, yep. Sorry, Sweetums. I didn't mean to interrupt the thing. I was reading your response to. That's great advice. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Redirecting them to a thrift store or direct them. Sorry. That is so smart. That's really smart when you like think about it, like, you know, double the orders and less than one. Because if you think about it, like, just in general, like how many people are actually going to ask for a refund or an exchange? I mean, realistically, right? So, hey, Michael, thanks so much for joining. Hey, King. Yeah, like Sweetums mentioned, so Printify or Printful are definitely the two largest. Those are the two largest print houses. I call them a print house. It's like a print shop, or the print on demand, basically like the source, the inventory or the source. Hey, Michael, real quick. So we're just talking about print on demand. So this is a 30-day challenge. So how to make money online, 30-day challenge. Every day is a different topic. So today's topic is print on demand. So we're really just covering print on demand, kind of like on a high level, and we're just explaining for people that don't know what it is or they're not really sure everything that entails print on demand. We're kind of answering all kind of questions. Really, just to introduce different people out there to these different business models. Yep. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Sweetums. This is invaluable information. Hey, Michael, no, I mean you can seriously like it doesn't matter honestly if you're 16 or not. You can start doing this for sure. You can go to some place like I know Printful, Printify, and Teespring. They all have like a free plan as far as like, at least starting to kind of get, to start creating products, or actually printing the products. So yeah, you don't actually you don't pay. I mean, basically the supplier, so like Printful or Printify or Teespring, they will take their money out of the cost of the t-shirt itself. So you basically have a thing where you can put in a price itself and you can say, okay, well, how much do I want to sell my shirt for? And you could, or whatever it is, hoodie, shirt, whatever. And you can set a price. And then I know in all of these, they have basically the same thing. It'll tell you about how much profit you're going to make. Not about, it will tell you how much profit you're going to make. So that means you'd make it. So, yeah. So I think the first thing you have to do is, so hey, Sweetums, do you want to kind of give your insight on just kind of overall like where somebody should start as far as like kind of the thought process? Hey, King, I'm not sure about like I mean I think that's an idea like a thought, but you got to make sure you want to make sure that the quality of your product is going to be high quality too. And with the when you're thinking about like, sourcing your inventory or whatever, that's why you use like these online like these print suppliers, like a Printify or Printful, because you don't have to carry any inventory. You don't have to actually have any of the products physically with you or at a warehouse or anything. You just create the design and then you you basically upload it to whatever product and then off it goes. So yeah, you don't have to hold any inventory at all. That's the beauty about print on demand. So I think there's kind of like there's a little bit of give and take as far as like you don't want it to be super low quality even though it's cheap, but you want it something to somebody's going to actually appreciate and because chances are you're probably gonna get refund requests if the quality is really bad or it starts like falling apart, or the print itself doesn't, it kind of bleeds through, or it's not very bold. So I think that's great advice from Sweetums. Etsy brings the customers to you. I mean, I don't know what else you want as far as like getting started. I mean, that's what everybody's looking for. If you have no idea how to drive traffic, or if you're not familiar yet, if you haven't learned, skills on how to drive traffic, then I think Etsy is a no-brainer to start there. Um, and then Sweetums, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it so anytime that you list a product, is it like 20 cents or 30 cents or something like that? Hey, Michael, I'm in the United States. I'm in Colorado. Yeah. Yep. Sweetums has experience with this, doing this print on demand. So definitely listen to what Sweetums says. Okay, Michael, you're in Nigeria. Okay. Okay. No problem. These numbers that you guys are seeing is invaluable, because especially when you're just getting started and you have no idea what to expect. I mean, something as simple as that. So 20 cents to list a product, and then Etsy takes 6.25% of every item sold. Yep. Excuse me. That's a good point. So Sweetums, I was kind of explaining earlier, you can use a free, like something like a Canva, or a free photo editing. So um in that sense, that doesn't cost any money. But at some point, I think you're gonna have to spend a little bit of money, depending on where you want to actually, house your products, or what print supply, um, company you're gonna go with. Yeah, that's the beauty of Etsy, is that it is literally a worldwide. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter how old you are. I don't. Let me backtrack. I don't think that you have to be 18 to sign up. I could be totally wrong, but I don't think you have to be 18. Yeah, I mean, so it's really not a place necessarily that you work. You don't work for Etsy. It's more of like you sign up for an account, and then you create your products, and then you basically list whatever products you have to sell. Yeah, so you'd be an independent. Oh, okay, you do Sweetums. Okay, sorry. So what you could do, Michael, is if you have a family member um, who's over 18, you could probably sign up with their information, I would imagine, right? Sweetums, do you see any problem with that? Signing up with a family member's information just so you can get an account? Got it. Yep, understand. Hey, Michael, does that make sense? What Sweetums is saying. So, obviously, if you're under the age of 18, you're gonna have a family member or friend or someone who's willing to set it up for you. But the financial information, like Sweetums mentioned, has to be theirs too. So basically, any profit that you would make would go to their bank account, and then you would have to work it out with them. Right on. Hey, Michael, do you mean what is the website we're talking about? Etsy. So it'd be just Etsy.com. Okay. Yep, just Etsy.com. The ETSY.com. Cool. Thank you, Sweetums, for posting that. Yeah, no, it's exciting. I mean, there's so many the possibilities are really endless as far as like, you know, what you're gonna design, what are you gonna put it on, that kind of thing. Um, make a count, money point, can I make use of it? So unfortunately, with something like Etsy, as Sweetums mentioned, you have to be 18 years old in order to sign up for an account. But so it doesn't sound like you'd be able to use your specific online bank information, but you could just work out whoever if you were going to do this, whoever was, you know, made the profit, you could work with them. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so unfortunately you can't like separate it. So you can't say, okay, well, person A is going to sign up for the Etsy account and then person B, you can use their bank account. It has to be the same person. Yeah, definitely. So I would say before you kind of dig in and get your feet wet, I think when you're thinking about it, you want to think about what your niche is going to be, and think about, are you going to stick to, do you have some ideas for some designs, and also, do you have a photo editing program like Canva is free? You can use that. That's something I know a lot of people use. Um, it's not like this super super high, like very expert level photo editor, but it's still, for what it is, somebody just getting started, I think it's perfect and it does the job really well. So one of the other questions that I came across when I was doing my research for this live stream was, are there any quality concerns with POD products? And I think that kind of goes back to, Sweetums mentioned there's about three different, the top uh, brands of the t-shirts that you should be choosing to print your designs on. So you're really, I don't want to say taking a gamble if you choose anything else, but the ones that are most popular, for sure is going to be high quality. Um, they're not going to have like, they're not going to bleed through as far as like the lettering and that kind of thing. It's going to be clear and it's going to be bright colors and that kind of thing. So um, I overall, if you use Printiful and Printify, I don't think there's any quality concerns no matter what shirt that you use, shirt, t-shirt, hoodie, that kind of thing. But what you can always do is, if you're concerned about maybe how it's going to look when it gets shipped out to the customer, there's always an option, for the most part, I think, to order a sample. So if you wanted to order, if you had a design for a shirt or a hat or like a hoodie or a towel or something, you can actually list the product itself, and then you can order a sample, and the Printify or Printful or Teespring or whoever you use will charge you like, I don't know exactly if it's half the cost, but they'll charge you definitely a discounted rate to get a sample of what the customer would see. And I think that's a great idea because it's not just you're checking out the quality and you can physically see the quality in your hands and you can see how it's going to look, but also you can use that for your marketing too, your social media marketing. So, which I think is invaluable because a lot of people, if you have, especially if you're doing like videos, and you have somebody like wear it or whatever, then hey, honey, thank you so much for joining. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. Wow, from New Zealand. I love that. Thank you for giving us a chance. So, we're talking about print on demand. Is it Henny? Sorry, Henny or Honey? I'm sorry. I don't mean to mispronounce your name. Um, so, Sweetums is our resident print on demand um, expert. Sweetums. So, she's one of our mods, and so she is the one that's kind of helping us answer some questions and stuff. So, Honey, I love that. Okay, I'm sorry I mispronounced it. Honey. Honey, do you have any experience with print on demand? Or have you, kind of heard about it before or learned about it, or is this kind of your first kind of introduction? Because what we're doing is, we're doing this 30-day challenge where I go live every day for 30 days. And I apologize if you guys have already heard this a million times, but basically every single day is going to be a different business model on how to make money online. So today is day 4, and we're talking about print on demand. So basically, really, the whole thought behind the challenge itself is to give an introduction to everybody and just kind of get their feet wet and introduce them, you guys, to these different ways to make money. So that's basically the gist. That was the thought. It wasn't really to go in and do like super expert deep dives, but just kind of high level, answer some questions and maybe spark some, interest in, hey, maybe, you know, I haven't thought about trying that. Maybe I want to try that. So that's really the whole thought behind this whole challenge. So cool. As is setting up my business page, but I lose confidence and I'm too paranoid about quality, so I'm searching for more info on quality. Yeah, honey, that information that Sweetums provided earlier, I mean, with the top 3 shirts, I mean, that you can't get that information unless you're in the trenches and you have experience and you're doing it day in, day out, that kind of thing, and you've learned. So yeah, no, honey, I totally understand it. I'm sure Sweetums does too. You want to make sure that the quality, I can see how that gets very like in your head, like in your headspace, because you don't want to ship out a crappy product, right? I mean, you don't want something that's going to be like fall apart in somebody's hands. I mean, that doesn't make you look good, that, and that can ruin your reputation before you even get started, basically. So, honey, can I ask, in the process, do you kind of have like your niche picked out? Do you have an idea of what kind of designs that at least you want to start with, as far as like maybe what kind of category? And you don't have to obviously get super specific, but hey Beck, how you doing? Yeah, hey, we're talking about print on demand here. Thank you, Sweetums. Appreciate it. I think that's a compliment. Thank you. Yeah, honey, I would definitely go with the suggestions that Sweetums is saying. Um, so Printify Premium, we were talking about getting started with some of this stuff for free, which it is possible, but if you are making a little bit of sales, like Sweetums mentioned, then to go up to the next tier, and it definitely seems like a no-brainer if you want to get a discount on your production cost, for sure. Thank you, Sweetums. That mean a lot to us as people. However, we appreciate quality clothing, warm, especially for yes, I, honey, you were absolutely. You don't realize how what you just said, how far ahead you are from other people. You want to focus on quality, which I know seems like a no-brainer, but you focus on quality. You have this absolute passion and love for your culture and where you're from, and you want to your people are proud and very very proud of where they came from, coming from, and that's how you succeed, and that's how you have success with uh with any business model, but most importantly, print on demand. To be able to represent your culture, your people, where you're from, is an incredibly beautiful thing. So congratulations, that is awesome. That's so cool. So I know we kind of talked about the two main, uh, basically like print on demand, kind of like the production houses or whatever suppliers. I keep saying houses. Um, Shopify currently. I haven't tried Etsy only because Etsy seems a lot more popular in the U.S. than India. That's cool. So honey, you currently have a Shopify store currently set up right now. So I think kind of the biggest, um, just high level, the on the difference between obviously like starting with Etsy versus Shopify. I think Sweden was mentioned before. So you have to have your own traffic come to Shopify, whereas with Etsy, obviously they bring the traffic to you or they bring the customers to you. So just in a super simple description, that's kind of the thought between the two. And you know it's almost like if you have an Etsy store and you're successful, I almost feel like maybe, and Sweetums, you can definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Etsy is probably the place to start, assuming you didn't already have a Shopify store. So start with Etsy, get the customers, build your fan base, build your reputation, and then maybe open up a Shopify store to kind of scale. Is that kind of the thought, do you think? Is that, hey, Michael, I'm not sure, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. And we're just kind of talking about print on demand stuff. I know. So I'm sorry. Okay. Yep, I got you. Yeah, Got it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense, Williams. Yeah, I think that's how Sweetums, how does that in terms of like Etsy as a whole, just in general, is it pretty easy for them to, I mean, to kind of navigate the tax thing or thank you, Sweetums. Seriously, I love how people can just pop in and just say like, some random stuff and then just pop out. It's all good, you know. Try not to let it break the stride kind of thing. So, oh, that's cool. So you don't actually have to do any of the conversions as far as currency goes with Etsy. Everything is done automatically. That's cool. Okay, so you don't have to worry about if you're somewhere, let's just say in Brazil, and you have customers buying in U.S., Canada, Australia, Europe, somewhere. Okay, that's cool. That makes sense that they change it, so you don't have to really figure out that calculation, which is good. That's important because that's one less thing you have to worry about. So I was gonna say, in addition to, we know that Printiful and Printify are like the top, right? So just for kind of like information senses, there's also Teespring, which is otherwise known as Spring, Redbubble, and Zazzle. Those are I think, the most popular, the top five most popular platforms for print on demand. That's a great suggestion, Sweetums. You're welcome. You're welcome, honey, and thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the eagerness to learn and the respect, and that's what it's all about. Just coming here and having a good time. So and learning and oh, that's awesome. So Sweetums posted the link for that YouTuber for the Etsy stuff, or outside of the U.S. Excuse me. So yeah, any extra help, any extra information you can get, especially if it's free, I think is a win-win, definitely. So, especially when you're starting out, you're kind of like, you're all over the place, which you're not really sure, I think, who to trust, who to actually like follow, that kind of thing. I think it's really a matter of the more people that you kind of watch and you get information from, maybe start to kind of like listen or look for similarities. Yeah, definitely. I would agree with Sweetums. I mean, with something like this, honestly, you just need to jump in, take action, and just start. And there may be a giant learning curve, and that's okay because you got it. As long as you don't give up and you don't stop, you're going to be good to go. So there is a lot, there's a lot of ups and downs in everything. Any kind of online business you try to do. A couple days ago when we started this, we talked about affiliate marketing. Same kind of thing, a lot of ups and downs, print on demand, same thing. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. You got to be able to navigate the lows and to build yourself up and put yourself in a very, as positive headspace as you can, to not let it get to you. Don't let it get you down. You have to just keep pushing forward and keep moving on. And being able to actually like pick yourself back up. Yeah. Yeah, Sweetums is right. That is a huge advantage because when you think about it, finding a target audience, the ideal viewer or the target audience, who you actually want to promote to. I mean, it sounds easy, but it's not as, I think it doesn't come so easy, I think, just in general. I mean, to be able to truly figure out who you're targeting, because then once you know who you're going to be designing shirts for, designing mugs, it doesn't matter what the product is. But once you figure out and you have that in your mind and you're designing it for that specific person or group of people, um, you're already definitely a big step ahead. So, and you'll be able to know what means the most, what they are most passionate about, and what is, pulls at the heartstrings and that kind of thing, and how to relate. You'll be able to know how to relate and be able to really kind of cultivate and design you you know your creative side. So, yep, this all this advice from Sweetums, I mean, this is something that, going into it, you kind of learn along the way. And so, anybody out there that's watching this, if you guys are thinking about jumping into POD, definitely take all of this insight and information that you're getting and just kind of think about it, digest it, and really kind of focus on it as you're starting. Because this is the ups and the downs and the lefts and the rights, and definitely. So it's always helpful to be able to talk to somebody or to interact with somebody who's already doing it live, and they're in the middle of it, and they've been doing it for some time, so they know exactly. There's always more stuff to learn, obviously, but they've come to a point where they're at least, definitely moving in the right direction, trending in the right direction, getting sales, and so I was gonna. You're welcome. You're welcome, honey. Absolutely. I'm so happy that we can help you out. And that's really the goal. That's our goal, right? We just want to help. And we want to help educate and share information. Yeah, you got this, Annie. Sorry, honey. I'm sorry. You got this, honey. You got it. Definitely. We would love to know what your progress is. Um, can you, if you want, can you do me a favor and just kind of keep me posted as you're kind of going along? I would love to be able to share your success, and once you get things up and running. Um, Definitely, I'm a huge proponent about promoting, people of this community as far as what people are doing. If that's their wish, if they agree to that kind of thing. So, if sometime down the road you have everything up and running and you'd love to, or you'd like to, basically have us, shout out your store or whatever it is, if you're comfortable with that. If not, that's cool too. But any way we can help you and help you move forward and give you advice, then we'll definitely do that. Thank you. I really appreciate that, honey. That means a lot. Thanks for taking a chance. Taking a chance on me and giving me your time, because I know that's the most valuable commodity. So thank you. So I was gonna mention. So in addition to YouTube, um, yeah, in addition to YouTube, there are different places that you can go to learn. Some of them are paid, but a couple other places you can go to learn is like Udemy, or like Skillshare. I don't. I got to be honest. I don't know the extent of, how much of the stuff on there, the content on there, is free, or do you have to pay for everything? I haven't really dug down and really kind of looked into it. Also, like Teachable is a great platform for learning, and being able to have somebody teach their skills and their experiences. I would venture to say that a lot of it is probably paid, but I'm sure that there's some free stuff out there that you can find. And it doesn't really matter like the extent of the information they're trying to give you. I think when you're learning, you can't ever have too much information when you're learning and you're trying to figure this stuff out. So okay, so next I want to kind of cover the tools. When we talk about print on demand, we kind of talked about the tools here and there. So I want to talk about more specifically the tools in their individual, kind of like topics. So, all right, so we're going to start with design. So, design software. So, everybody knows about Photoshop, that kind of thing, Illustrator. But, we talked about Canva on here. That's totally free. A lot of the Adobe stuff does cost, but you can get a Canva account for free. Um, and there's also a free Photoshop type clone. Another free photo editor is called GIMP, GIMP, that I've used before, both on Mac and PC. Wow, that's great. That's awesome. Thank you, Sweetums, for sharing that. That's definitely going to help a lot of people out. And I'm totally like, I'm the first one to say, obviously, like, I don't know, and I don't claim to know like everything about everything. So I'm all for hopping around and finding different YouTubers that you can watch and get information from. I think that's really the best way to learn is to get like a different perspective from different people and be able to really kind of, pull things out. Okay, I relate to this person for reason XYZ. So I think the more information you can get from different sources, I think you can't go wrong with that. Oh, that's right. That's right, Kittle. Thank you, Sweetums. I was trying to remember. I couldn't remember if that was free, so it's not free. So Kittle is looks like roughly about $30 a month for Kittle. So I think in your experience, Sweetums, if you had to rank or if you had to offer suggestions for if somebody's starting, they have basically no money, and they're like, okay, I don't know where to start. Um, what would you say as far as like design software? Like for me, I'm inclined to jump right to Canva, but I'm curious to see if, in your experience, if there's anything else like totally free that you could think that would be a benefit to others. That's great advice. Free Canva. Anybody can sign up for Canva. You can sign up with your own email address. You can sign up with, I think, Gmail and some other ways. Yeah. Yep. And not only is that a great way to learn in terms of the POD process as a whole, but if you're doing simple text, um, then you don't really have to like dig too deep into like a design, right? So you don't have to really, if you're like, oh crap, I can't think of what to design. I mean, if you stick with just text, play around with the font, maybe like the style, the shape, that kind of thing. I think that's a great suggestion on where to start. So that's it. You can't get more free with that. Free Canva, and then just mess around with the text. So that's great advice. And the fact that people sell text only shirts, and believe it or not, if you're not like kind of in tune with the print on demand world, um, yeah, a lot of people buy just text with nothing on them, no graphics, no images, just just text with different sayings or whatnot, that kind of thing. So that is a thing. That's a very real thing, and people do make a lot of money just with text, which is pretty crazy because I think you kind of automatically assume like, oh, there's got to be a graphic or some crazy thing on it. there we go. That's another golden nugget right there from Sweetums in terms of if you have like inside jokes or inside kind of like into the community, the culture, um, jokes, sayings, different, what's a word, like different things that you support as a whole or that kind of thing. Anything that somebody from, you know, that culture, that place, the country, anything that somebody would recognize only if they're involved in that certain, you know, kind of, you know, realm. So, yep, that's awesome. And the cool part is like once you actually get the sales, then you go back in and you're like, okay, you know, I want to add, you know, I think typically there's a certain set of shirt colors that are usually the best sellers. I think Sweetums is it white, black, dark gray, and blue? I don't know. Um, I know for sure black is on the list. But I think what I was getting at was you could once you have a shirt that's selling, um, you can test out more colors, like additional colors, to see if that maybe expands your the net. You know, black is a bestseller. Okay, yep, yeah, definitely think that that's the way to go. And maybe what you do in the very beginning, just for the heck of it. I mean, if you had to choose Sweetums, if you had to choose two colors to just say start. Oh, okay, there you go. Okay, cool. Black, white, and athletic gray. Perfect. So stick to those three colors, and that's it. That's one less thing you have to worry about. So in the very beginning, when you're really trying to get, you know, your feet wet and try to learn everything all there is to learn about print on demand and designing and everything, um, I think I feel like people jump too quickly um, into just wanting to have a shirt with every color under the sun, and there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely. But you know, I think different designs I think complement different colors. So that's something you may be able to play with as you kind of move along and you kind of do, you know, your trial and error, your testing, and you have a little bit more experience. So I actually wanted to show you guys before we get too far into, you know, kind of the next topic, like beyond the software. I wanted to show you an example of um, so my print on demand store. It's definitely nothing to write home about, but I wanted to show you kind of what it looks like to put products together and to have them live on a store. So I actually use Teespring. So I don't use Etsy. I use Teespring because I started a couple different print on demand. Um, I tried print on demand a couple of times in the last probably 10 to 15 years, give or take. Different designs, different niches, that kind of thing. But most recently, I started creating shirts surrounded around the state of Colorado, where I live. And I just want to show you kind of what it looks like. And that way, you know, for what it's worth, you can kind of see what a live store looks like. Um, it's not perfect, but you at least get to see an example of what this looks like. So let me swap this out real quick. Okay. Just so you guys can see this here. Okay. I'm gonna flip this camera around here in 1 minute. Okay. There we go. Okay, so this is the store. Um, this is the store I was talking about. So basically, what I did was I have this design. I did this design. I actually made a video recently about creating a print-on-demand design, and this is a design that I came up with. Oh, thank you, honey. So I just created the design once. Let me make this a little bit bigger so you can actually see the design. Okay, so basically what it says is world's greatest dad. I'm not lying. So I don't know if anybody out there is a fan of dad jokes, but I liked it. So that was kind of the design idea. So I took this design, and this platform that we're using is Teespring. So um, if you scroll down, like over here, you can see the different colors. So I have black, I have navy, royal blue, red, and green. And then you have your sizes. And then if you go down, I just did a little kind of like description down here. And then it'll tell you like similar products. So bath mat, t-shirt, pillow, all that kind of stuff. So thank you, Norbitz. I appreciate that. And then if you go back up here, here's just some more stuff. So this is just I just want to show you guys an example of what's possible. So you have like a pillow, you have a, what is this, Samsung case, iPhone case, hoodie, then there's a mug. And then here's some of the other things I designed. Some hoodies down here. As you can see, this design I've kind of put on a lot of things. Um, so this is a ceramic ornament. This is a bath mat down here. This is a white hoodie. And then, so you can see, I want to show you, these are some of the designs that I did earlier that are absolute crap. Yeah, definitely. That's great advice, Sweetum. So adding that personalized option to really like customize your shirts or whatever you're going to sell. So, yep. Yep. So this is Teespring. So just to, I promise this is not some shameless self promotion. I'm just trying to show you kind of what some layout of a print on demand store looks like. So Teespring is totally free to use. I didn't go the route of Etsy because I didn't know what I was doing, like in the very beginning, and I really didn't want to kind of dive in and really commit to it. So anyway, that's that. So that's Teespring. So you can go through and they have a ton of different, like all these other shops, they have a ton of other, let me move this over. They have a ton of different products that you can choose from. Yeah, come on. So that's straight. Okay. Okay. Oh, Norbit's okay. I didn't see you put a question there. So it's really quick actually to post on Teespring. So basically, once you already have your design, you just log in and then you can select whatever the medium is. So a t-shirt, a hoodie, whatever it is, bath mat, phone case, and you once you upload the design one time, then all you have to do is hit a plus sign, and it'll add that same design to whatever product you want. So you select the product, and yeah, it's very quick. So I think the most time consuming part of just specifically here with Teespring with this design um, is creating the design. So once you have the design all set and you saved it, then you're ready to rock and roll, and all you have to do is upload it. So yeah, it probably takes about 5 minutes maybe to get a listing up and running. Yep. So it definitely does not have the same traffic user base or like community that Etsy has. Like they're not sending customers your way, that kind of thing. It's really just kind of like I would say like a bare bones it's a good place to start if you're like, okay, you just want to try to like play around with some stuff, but you have to find customers and you have to find ways to drive traffic. Yep. So actually, I've sold some hoodies, and I've also sold some bath mats in the past, which is actually pretty cool. And never had any complaints. So I haven't made that much money, but definitely because I'm not really like you know, or I didn't give it full effort. So I think the production costs for the general kind of I think crew cut like cotton shirt is usually about I would say between maybe 14.95 up to like maybe 22, 23, 24. So, yep. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. There is, which is pretty nuts. That's a cool part is once you have like a winning design or that people are buying, then you can basically test the market and you could say, okay, well, if you like it on a shirt, maybe you'll like it on XYZ, that kind of thing. And that's the beauty of print on demand is that you can very seamlessly add whatever the design is to a different medium or different product. So yeah, they also have these little like ceramic kind of like a disc like for like a holiday like Christmas tree decoration kind of thing. So there's a bunch of stuff on there that's pretty crazy. I mean, I never would have thought. I mean, you think about t-shirts and hoodies and like long sleeve kind of shirts. I mean that stuff's pretty obvious, but when it comes to like what is it? Like phone cases. I mean, that's a thing now, which is pretty crazy. So putting in, I was even thinking about maybe just, ordering like a sample or two just to kind of like help promote, but I'm not going like all in personally on print on demand, at least not right now. So yeah, I thought that was important, Sweetums, just to kind of capitalize on a design that's already selling. So if people really like the design as a t-shirt, then, these other little things like there are some strange things like a bath mat, but like a mug, a coffee mug, even if somebody doesn't drink coffee, it's pretty standard. So I mean, it's like a pretty good like, hey, this is a complimentary kind of product to a mug. I mean, to a t-shirt, sorry. Yep. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's so cool how it works. So really, I think getting to the point where you're able to continue have sales like on specific shirts. And then once you know that you have like a bestseller or something that's really doing well, that's getting a lot of traction, then you can kind of pivot. And it doesn't mean you stop making the shirt, you just add additional products, that kind of thing. So that's a cool part about. So on Etsy, Sweetums, when you do or like Printify, when you're adding like an additional item, is it the same um, cost for listing? It doesn't matter what the product is. So I think it was 20 cents, right? 20 cents for a t-shirt, 20 cents for a hoodie, mug, whatever. It doesn't go up based on the price itself. Hey, Geo. Thank you so much for stopping in. We're talking about print on demand here. And feel free to ask any questions you might have about print on demand. Cool. Okay, that's good. That's super, super valuable information, Sweetums. Like, just so people know, like, hey, 20-cent baseline for whatever it is. So, and I mean, honestly, like, it kind of makes sense. Like, the reason that somebody like Teespring doesn't charge to list is because they don't have the customers, and I don't want to say the user base, but like, they don't have the customers and the traffic that something like Etsy does. So that's why it doesn't cost anything to list because You have to find your own traffic. Basically, all it is like the supplier itself. So like the product or the t-shirt supplier. So you have to provide the traffic, whether it be through ads or social media or any kind of medium or whatever avenue that you want to try to find traffic. I really hope you guys are enjoying this. This is an awesome conversation, and interacting with everyone about print on demand has been super cool. And hopefully, you learn a thing or two, which is the most important thing that we're trying to do here. I'm just curious, real quick, the guys that are here, how did you find this? Is it through the YouTube Shorts feed? Is that where you found me? Did it just pop up and you were scrolling, that kind of thing? I'm just curious because I don't usually see that side of it. I just go live from my phone and then I don't really know where people come from. But I'm really glad that you guys decided to stop. Okay, cool. Very cool, honey. Yeah, I'm so glad you guys decided to stop and hang out here. So, does anybody have any, before I get into this next section, about the talking about more, a little bit more in depth about the e-commerce platforms, does anybody have any other questions? Just about print on demand in general, how to get started, really anything that you were wondering about print on demand. Yeah, honey, that's really great insight from Sweetums because in terms of finding a best-selling design that might work in a different niche or a different category or topic, you could take inspiration from that and you can use it in yours in whatever you are designing or your niche or your topic. Yeah, those are great question, Orbit. So for startup costs, I would say really it's going to depend on if you want to do this like free, totally free kind of thing. You can do a Teespring, sign up like for the supplier, a Teespring or like the Printful or Printify. Those all have free options. So in terms of not necessarily paying for the actual print supply, that's how you could start in with free. And then you need some sort of like graphic design program in terms of to start designing, whatever you're going to put on your product. So Canva, we recommend Canva a lot on this channel because it's just so easy to use for beginners and it's free. The free version of Canva is definitely highly recommended because there's enough templates and fonts and elements and styles and designs you could take inspiration from, to not have to pay for anything. Canva does have a premium level, which is called Canva Pro, and that's about I think it's about $119 a year. So it pays for itself literally every single day, for me. But there's nothing wrong with the free version. You can do what you need to do to get started and kind of get your feet wet with the free version. So I would say theoretically startup costs can be zero, can be totally zero. Um, as you kind of get in, you get a little more experience, depending on if you wanted to go the Etsy route. And I think Sunam's mentioned that there is a free. Um, is it free to sign up for Etsy? But then you just have to pay per listing, right? So, and then I would say compared to other side hustles, the startup cost for print on demand is definitely is lower. If not totally free, it's like not very much. And the same goes for similarly to affiliate marketing. Um, So very little to no startup costs at all, which is huge because you want to be able to potentially try some of these out, these business models out. And, you know, n- not a lot of people have extra money that they can just throw to try to learn this kind of stuff. So if you combine learning on, YouTube primarily, I would say, hey, Foki, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, I know you joined one of the lives earlier today. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. Hey, we're talking about print on demand now. How are you doing? It's good to have you here. Yeah, so I would say the learning curve for print on demand is awesome. That's great. I'm great that you're doing good. The learning curve for print on demand is, I, you know what? I think at first it can be simple in a sense of like kind of learning the foundation and the fundamentals, but oh, it's not free anymore. Okay. Okay, so is that $8 Sweetums a month for Etsy? Okay, sorry. I apologize. It's not free. Etsy's not free. I thought it might be free and then you just had to pay for the listings. Yeah, so just in terms of the learning curve, um, okay. Oh, okay, okay, got it. Okay. Yep, got it, Sweetums. Okay, thank you. Just the startup cost at the beginning, $8 one time. Okay, got it. Um, yeah, so today we're talking about print on demand. So like, you know how, you see t-shirts, you see hoodies, you see that kind of stuff that people um hey Joy, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. So, I think every kind of print supplier, Joy, has a different, I guess, method of how you can get paid. Um, the ones that I've seen, I mean, definitely PayPal, but also go, do like a direct deposit to your bank account, that kind of thing. Like, um, what do you call it? Like I can't, direct deposit is not necessarily the right word, but okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess that is the right word. Yeah. Yeah, so some do. A lot of them do use a bank account, Joy, but some of them do use PayPal. But if you're not comfortable with or don't want to use PayPal, then I would say definitely bank account. And these companies are so big that, to be completely honest, I wouldn't even think twice about providing your information. So I would just do what you have to do to start getting the money. Make sure you have all that set up in the beginning, and that way, when you do get a sale, it's not just like sitting in limbo. Um, hey, Sweetums, do you know, does Etsy hold the profits? Like, is there a certain time frame that Etsy holds your profits for? So let's say, what are we in June? So if you make a sale, um, June 15th, today's June 15th. If you make a sale today, June 15th, do you know when you'd get, when would you get paid? Is it, do they hold it for like a month and a half? Do they like freeze it until they can release it to you or? Yep. So, Teespring for sure is free, 100%. I think Zazzle and Redbubble, I think, are free too. I'm just gonna double check that real quick. I have some notes here. Okay. Yep, Zazzle is free. So Teespring and Zazzle are free. I think Redbubble also is free. I think they're kind of the same with like Teespring. Um, let's see. Yep, I believe all three. I know for sure that Teespring and Zazzle are free, and I believe Redbubble is free too. And they're again, those are like, um, okay, so they hold it for about 2 weeks. Okay, that's good. That's actually better than I thought, honestly, because like when you're doing a lot of this affiliate marketing with these different companies, they can hold it for like a month and a half. Um, just whoever the brand is. So yeah, that's a significant difference in itself. And I know Teespring, they hold it for, I want to say about the same, like 2 or 3 weeks, give or take. Teespring does, to make sure that there's no refunds, exchanges, that kind of thing. Make sure the customer is happy with the purchase. So they just hold on to your money and they don't release it um, until they know there's not going to be any kind of refunds. So, which is fine. I mean, that's usually how they all do it anyway. Oh, perfect. So when you're an established seller on Etsy, they don't hold it. So they basically lift that restriction, which is perfect. So what's the criteria in order to be an established seller on Etsy? Okay, we'll wait for Sweetums on that one. We're going to, so I wanna talk about real quick. Um, okay, cool. No worries. Thank you, Sweetums, for looking into that. Yeah, no worries. No problem at all, Norbit. So tomorrow, the topic on day 5 is freelancing. So that is our that's the business model tomorrow we're going to be talking about is freelancing of all kinds. So yeah, definitely. If you guys want to follow along on this challenge, it's totally free. 30 days live stream every single day, and we're going to be covering a different topic on how to make money online. So all you got to do is subscribe to the channel and then hit the bell, the notification bell. That way you know when we're going live. And all the lives, the replays are going to stay up. So if you happen to miss a certain chunk of the live, you can always go back and rewatch it. We greatly appreciate it. Definitely. So, okay, we're going to talk about so e-commerce platforms, and we've kind of talked about these indirectly, but so I would say Shopify and Etsy are the two biggest players in the game, if you will, for e-commerce. So Shopify, like we've kind of mentioned and Sweetums has mentioned in the past, Shopify you have to find your own traffic sources to get people to your shop, whether that be you're promoting on social media or maybe you're running ads, that kind of thing. So that's Shopify in it as a high level. And then Etsy, their marketplace, they bring customers to you. So they have the traffic and they bring the customers to your store. So those are two major differences in terms of where do you get your traffic and how do you get eyeballs on your products. But I think once you're established with Etsy and you have, winning designs and that kind of thing that are selling and you have bestsellers, um, I definitely know a lot of people that basically, to complement their Etsy store, they also have a Shopify store in addition. So they can basically go and so that's basically like two different forms of income. So I think the thought is to really maximize your position of having as many streams of income as you can, right? So you're not solely relying on, say, just an Etsy or just a Shopify or just this or that, whatever it may be. So, but I think that's important to at least kind of have in the back of your mind to kind of think about. Okay, perfect. So for Etsy, lift the hold, you have to have good reviews, stay within their seller policies, ship within the shipping time, add tracking numbers. Okay, got it. So you just have to be consistent. That sounds good. I mean, kind of normal stuff that you would think as far as like good customer service and basically follow the rules. Yeah, that's all good stuff. So um, that's cool. And then I'm sure once you start getting sales, then Etsy's gonna recognize your store as okay. It's another thing I was thinking is it's super super important to when you start getting sales, specifically on Etsy, because it's all about the reviews and you know getting the 5-star reviews, talking to customer service, that kind of thing. Yep, that's a great point. Absolutely. So, and I think it doesn't matter what platform you choose, what e-commerce platform, what print supplier. Um, hey, if you so Sweetums looked that up a little bit ago. So it's $8. Uh, it's an $8 charge for Etsy. So is that $8 charge, Sweetums? Um is that a one-time $8 charge, and then that's it for that type of charge? And then on top of that, for every listing, it's 20 cents. So you list one t-shirt, one hoodie, one bath mat, or whatever. So that's 20, 20, 20. So 60 cents. So, okay. Yeah, no, that's important to just kind of, have everybody understand exactly how it works as far as what kind of money you're going to be expected or you should expect to be paying. And you could expect to actually put forth. I think is really important because it's a realistic idea of what kind of an investment you're going to make. But, as that saying goes, right? I love this saying, but it's frustrating at the same time. It takes money to make money. And that's so true. It's true because you need to not only invest in yourself, but also invest in, okay, perfect. That's great info, Sweetums. Right there. That should be like highlighted, like the blurb right there. So, anybody out there that's interested, Etsy, one time fee of $8. And then for every listing, it's 20 cents. And then every sale, Etsy is going to take 6.25% of whatever the profit is. So those are three key financial, I guess, kind of criteria that they have. So just keep that in the back of your mind if anybody is considering selling on Etsy or starting an Etsy store. I mean, seriously, for $8, you just sign up and you can just look around, right, and do some research and start digging around. And before you even list anything, I think you can kind of get the lay of the land and kind of see, okay, how does this work? Search the bestsellers, find your niche, just kind of look at your competitors, how are they doing things? And obviously it goes without being said, and I think a lot of people understand this, but you know you want to go into it with as positive experience as you possibly can. And that means, obviously you don't want to steal or rip off anybody's design. It happens, which is unfortunate. But hi, Badu, how you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. We're talking about print on demand, so all things print on demand today. And this is our 30-day challenge. So every day for 30 days, we're going live, talking about a different business model on how to make money online. What is P2P in e-commerce? Is that pay to pay, or I'm not sure if I've heard of that before. Yeah, like that's a good point, Sweetum. So it's a low cost way, definitely to start experimenting with print on demand because they're like the powerhouse of the traffic. So I mean that's a good point. So sign up, $8, get in there, get your feet wet, and start looking around, um, and that way you can start thinking about maybe what your niche is if you don't have a niche already. So I wonder, like, when you go in, I wonder how important it is to have a niche already in mind, or if you really have no idea where to start, can you go in, look around, kind of get your feelers going and do some research and then maybe pick a niche based on what you're seeing? Or do you think it's better or it's more it makes more sense to have a niche in your mind going in so that way you can kind of hit the ground running? Yeah, hey honey. So we are on day 4. So day 4 of day 30. So, yep. So let me see, I can tell you real quick. Um so I'll just tell you real quick. So day 1 was affiliate marketing and that started on June 12th. Day 2 is blogging. Day 3 is drop shipping that we talked about. So now we're on day 4, print on demand. Got it. That's a crucial piece of advice, Sweetums. So basically the gist is um you need to have an idea, research-based idea before going in and just blindly starting. So that's invaluable. Hey Mohammed, how you doing? Yep, you sure can, honey. Absolutely. So when you're on the main channel, what you can do is you can look for the little tabs and you look for live, the word live, click on that, and then you can see, it kind of goes, I'm not sure if it's left to right or right to left, but you can count backwards and you can just look for the thumbnail is all the same. It's the same image, but it just has a different like little badge at the bottom that says what the topic is. So just look for day 1 for affiliate marketing, honey, and then you can click on that one, start there, and then just watch video 2, 3, and whatever you're interested in. So it's all live streams, so they're always going to be up. So I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support. Hey, Mohammed. So when you mean perform POD, do you mean like where do you find the companies to actually start um, like printing your shirts and your designs and stuff? I just want to make sure we can help answer your question correctly. Absolutely. You're welcome, honey. Hey, Ifyoke, we will uh we will definitely try to answer that as best we possibly can. So do you already just a couple of leading questions real quick. Do you already have a store on Etsy? Ifyoke, do you already have a store that you already have set up? And what is it a print on demand store on Etsy? Okay, so you don't have a store yet. Okay. So I think I can appreciate your drive and the motivation and you really the eagerness to be successful and stuff. Um, but like Sweetums mentioned, I think maybe it would be important to kind of like take a step backwards, you know? Yeah. Yeah, Norbitz is right. We're on the same kind of page. I think we want to kind of understand if you we want to understand kind of where what you're getting at as far as like you gotta you need to have a store to kind of start and then you can kind of start to grow from there, but you definitely need to increase your catalog of designs and shirts and that kind of thing. So you really can't, you know, you can't scale and grow if you don't have a foundation, a solid foundation to start with, where you're seeing that you're getting sales, you know? Hey, if you guys out there, some of these more kind of like one-on-one questions, we do have a free Facebook group. So if you guys want to check it out, it's public, so anybody can join. That's probably a better, I guess, kind of way that we can kind of get a little more in depth, a little more intimate with like kind of helping answer questions. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to join that. That's probably the best way to kind of get like one-on-one help is to ask questions and stuff through there. That way we can kind of track everything and you know, so it gets a little cluttered, with like the live stream chat, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, that's definitely a great point from Sweetums. I mean, um, it doesn't, I know we're talking about print on demand right now in this moment, but it doesn't have to be print on demand. There's a ton of other, business models where you can make money online. But if you do want to stick with print on demand, definitely. So, okay, so you're thinking of selling cookie recipes or cookies and recipes? Um, c- can you sell food on Etsy? I don't, and I apologize if I'm misreading that. I think you just mean recipes, right? Cookie recipes. Yeah, I agree. I would say find out what your competition in the same niche is selling for, and to be honest, you can even like lower it a little bit as far as the price goes, just to start getting some sales. Because I think the thought is you want to start building traction with your store, and in the very beginning, I'm not saying don't think about making money or don't think about making a profit, but if you can get some if you can get some sales and you're maybe only making like a dollar or two per shirt, that's better than nothing because you're actually like lowering the price. So you're drawing, if you can draw more traffic to your store by having lower prices. But on the flip side of that is, I think there's a perception that if something's lower, like a lot lower, then the quality is lacking or it's not the highest of quality. So you have to kind of, that's a little bit of a give and take, a little bit of a trial error. Excuse me. No way, you can sell food? You could sell food on Etsy? That's pretty cool. Hey, Michael. Yeah, it is morning. It's, well, no, it's, where I am, it's like dinner time. So like late afternoon. Nice. 11 a.m., honey, in New Zealand. That is awesome. Awesome. So, honey, is it Sunday? 11 a.m. Sunday in New Zealand? Okay. Honey, I gotta admit, I am jealous. Like, I've always wanted to go to Australia, New Zealand, in that area, that part of the world. Wow, that's cool. That's right. You know what? Because when you watch these different, news channels or whatever about celebrating the new year, like January 1st, it's always it's always like, Sydney and Australia. I mean, sorry, Australia and New Zealand that always have like the fireworks go off first. Okay. All right, noon. All right. It's noon there in Nigeria. Cool. Right on. So, we got noon in Nigeria. We have 12:12 a.m. where Michael's from. We have 4 p.m. where Norbitz is from. I'm at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Honey, that is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, we're all big fans of Lord of the Rings, and I know a lot of the movies um, were shot in. I'm not sure about Australia, but I know New Zealand. Um, like Hobbiton. I just I, the power of what we're doing here in this moment, going live on YouTube, um, literally all over the world. Like Norbit said, a couple of us are from the United States. We got New Zealand, we got Nigeria. It's just the fact that you can do that with technology is insane. I love it. I love that so much. It's so cool. And it's so nice to be able to meet people from all over the world and sharing the same interest, the same, we're talking about the same thing, print on demand, but we live in, totally opposite parts of the world. Oh, I just can't imagine the beauty. Like, you know, the most like kind of dense, woodsy kind of place that I lived in was on the east coast of the United States. So I can't imagine being in New Zealand and just seeing like the natural beauty all around. One of the places I personally always wanted to visit is Ireland. That's awesome, Michael. Yeah, that is so cool. Yep. And anime. You like anime? That's cool. That's very cool. Do you have a favorite anime movie or show? Hey, I would love to come visit. Seriously. If you okay, I would love to come visit Nigeria. Seriously. Yeah, for sure they do. They totally do in Ireland. Hey Norbits, did we get to all print on demand 10 questions? Let me see. I think we did. Um okay. Let me see if there was anything left that we had to talk about. Really so the only thing left that I kind of had on my outline, like, structure wise, was really like talking about the analytics, like analytic tools. You know the history, the history of visiting some of these places is just phenomenal. Like that dates back like thousands of years. In the States, I think, United States, I think there's a city in Florida that's like the oldest city in America, and it only goes back like it's St. Augustine. I know that it's like 1574, three something, 15 something, I think, in the high 15s, I think. But nothing like Europe and you know obviously Australia, New Zealand. I mean, anywhere there, like America is so new compared to those other countries. I just really like how we can still have a topic of print on demand, that kind of thing, but then get into talking about where everybody is. That's the coolest part of the live stream, is really kind of getting to know, like, the people in the community, and that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to build this community of people that want to make money online and want to learn how to do it and share it with others and build each other up. That's the biggest thing. So build each other up and encourage one another. I mean, I think that's just so cool. I mean, and I'm a firm believer in karma, and just being able to like help and assist somebody with no ulterior motives, I think is a wonderful thing. And I think the world could definitely use a lot more of that, like more positivity and just more like, hey, more helping. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're totally right, honey. I mean, seriously, I think part of it is like uh, the fear of the unknown, and not knowing, like, if you break it down into like kind of like bite-sized pieces, and something that's very digestible, like if you think of like print on demand or affiliate marketing or drop shipping or whatever it is, and there's just so much to it, right? You're not really sure how to start or where to start, and you have to learn this and this and this and this, and it can be overwhelming very quickly. But if you break it down, um, you're right. You're right, honey. I think it definitely, it's not too hard as long as you know you take little steps and you learn a little something each day. Um, it's definitely doable for sure. You know, and I think that you know, I, I hate the whole like thinking about like bragging, that kind of thing. But I know we've proven on this channel that you can make money. You can be just a normal everyday person, nothing special, just a willingness to learn. And really, you need to have like the mindset, but also like the why. So like, why are you doing this? What is your drive, your motivation for wanting to have success? And then, boom, I think everything else is taken care of for you. Everything else will fall into line. That's a big thing too, honey. Is don't let people get you down. Don't let the doubters come in. the negative people, the naysayers, everybody is always going to try to bring you down. There might be some jealousy in there. There might be some, oh, you can't do it, for what it's worth. Like, you know, nobody in our area has done this. Nobody's successful. That's only for other people. You have to block that stuff out, the negativity, the noise. You have to really sit there and focus and, put your head down. And if you want it bad enough, you'll figure out a way to make it work. And that's not just like me talking. I mean, that's like true. So I know, Sweetums has this experience with print on demand, and um, you know, I'm doing YouTube, and I have a blog, or had I mean I still have a blog, but um, had a blog, did that for a little while, and I'm doing affiliate marketing currently as well. So really, you got to just you have to narrow down and focus on what you actually want to do, and then just really hit the ground running and really focus. So nothing is impossible. Yep. I don't think there's a more true quote than that. Absolutely. Excuse me. And the only difference between them and you or me or us is the amount of time that it takes. Some people, quite honestly, get lucky and they hit the success meter very, very quickly. Some people, it takes months. Some people, it takes years. But if you can try to get into that mode and that mindset of not comparing yourself to other people and not comparing their success, doesn't necessarily look like your success. Like, money is not the only, um, like, I guess, judgment of success. It's not the only, like, pillar, so you can define success in many, many other ways, not just with a monetary value. So, I mean, think of it as like this, like, success is absolutely learning new skills and teaching people how to do it. So how cool would that be, honey, to teach people from your around your area, and when you are successful and you start teaching people, man, that is so cool. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, money money does rule the world. I mean, we got to be honest here. But it's like there's got to be a good balance. So a good balance of the two. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with wanting money, you know, not living paycheck to paycheck, that kind of thing. Yeah, yep, Michael, that's the founder of Tesla. Yep, we know about him. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, honey. You absolutely have this. And it's not just us saying, hey, you have it on a live stream, and then we go away, that kind of thing. I mean, we're here, we're not going anywhere. We're here. I'm literally I want to build this community. So um, yep. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Michael. Absolutely, you're right. Yeah, I know, honey. That's tough, right? It's tough. It's it's very tough. People are scared of their dreams coming true, and that's a tough pill to swallow. I think a tough spot, But you just you have to you have to really believe that you can do it. You have to believe in yourself. You have to know that it's true. You can be successful. There's no reason why you can't. Anybody, any of us, right? Anybody here, anybody that watches a replay of this. I mean, There's no reason why you can't be successful. Don't let somebody else tell you that you can't. Put you down. Put that negativity in your mind, because that's you don't want that. You don't want that. You want to be positive, and you know, even if that means shutting down the naysayers and the negative people and the negative talk. And that could very well be family, could be family, could be friends, could be people in your circle. Um, Try as hard as you can to block that noise out. So, oh, that's cool. Michael, you're going to sell cupcakes? I love cupcakes too. Yeah, that's very cool. You want to start selling them? Yeah, you love chocolate. Yeah, brown cupcake. So chocolate cupcake? Is that what you're looking to sell? Seriously, Michael, will you, when you start selling your cupcakes, will you let us know? Will you reach out to me, let us know, so I can promote? Thank you, Sweetums. I mean, hey, I've been called a lot of stuff, but seriously, come on. It's all good. That's the example. We were just talking about that. We were just talking about that. Block out the haters, block out the negativity, block out the noise. People come in here just to disrupt. It's all good. So we just block it out and we keep moving forward. You keep focusing on what you need to do. Sorry, what I was saying was, um, when you get those cupcakes going on, you come back around, you let me know, okay? And I'd be more than happy to promote your cupcake business. Same with you, any of you guys out there. I mean, that's the whole point of building a community, so you can build each other up. And so if you would want, if you'd want me to promote something or talk about something or show something off, I am more than happy to. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they just pop in and they just say it's like weird crap. It's like, okay, you have no idea. You know what they probably do? They probably just scroll through like the YouTube Shorts feed, like that, and then just pop in when they see somebody's going live, put in a nasty comment, and then hop out. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I agree. I mean, some people have nothing better to do. They think that it's like a fun time or whatever, but we want to block them out, block those kind of people out. And those people just bring you down. It's like, hey, I'm not gonna give you any time or attention or focus on the negativity. Yep, that's true. I agree. I think they're bored too. Definitely. So I want to give you guys a little. I know we talk about print on demand, but I want to give you a little kind of sneak peek as to what's coming up here in this 30-day challenge, just so you have something to kind of look forward to. Um, okay, so we're gonna recap real quick. Let me pull this up, my notes. Okay, so, and I know I've said it, but so day one, we talked about affiliate marketing. Day two was blogging. And day three yesterday was drop shipping. Those are all interesting because they're so, like, they're insanely different. They're so different, like business models. Sorry. I need more of my cherry 7 Up. Yeah, Norbits, I'm curious about that. So I'm going to give you guys an idea of what's to come. So, um, obviously today is print on demand. So tomorrow we're going to talk about freelancing. So all kinds of just consultant freelancing work. Um, then we're going to be talking on day 6, which is going to be Monday. We're going to talk about online courses, which has always intrigued me, always. So that one's going to be super cool. And then day 7, ironically enough, is YouTube. We're going to talk about YouTube channel. So we got some wildly different business models, and the whole point is like is really to, if you're not interested, it's more of like, hey, gain a little bit of knowledge, and kind of you might learn something. It doesn't mean that you have to try everything. It's just more of like, hey, here's an introduction to XYZ. So if you think you may want to, dive a little deeper, at least at least you have some kind of like information. So yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys' support. Honestly, like it really does mean a lot. And it's equally as important you guys supporting us, supporting me, that I support this community because this is what I want. I'm trying to build a community of people that respect one another and they encourage each other and they're just behind each other all the way. So, yeah, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Michael, what kind of advice um what are you looking for? How can we help you? Oh, financial advice. Okay. So, no, I mean, I think what I like to do is, in terms of giving like advice, I definitely, obviously it kind of goes without saying, you know, none of us are, certified financial people. So definitely do not take what we say as 100%. You have to kind of make your own decisions, do your own research, that kind of thing. I mean, I just speak from the experiences that I've had and that I've kind of learned along the way over the last couple of years. So, um, I just like to share kind of things that I've done, but it doesn't mean it's the right way. It doesn't mean you should do it or you shouldn't do it. So I would just kind of, you know, just be guarded. Um, if Okie, I would just be guarded about who you take advice from. I just want to, protect you guys from getting scammed, basically. Hey, Casey 084. Hey, so we actually, so me personally, I sell on Teespring, uh, otherwise known as Spring. But Sweetums, she has a store on Etsy. So a couple different people in the community have different um, different different places that they sell. Yeah, it's really just it's kind of like personal preference, like whatever you're comfortable with. So for me personally, I sell like t-shirts, hoodies, long sleeve shirts. There's some bath mats in there, which is kind of random, but mostly like t-shirts and hoodies. And that's definitely like the most popular in a sense for print on demand is t-shirts. So I would say, roughly speaking, I would say just getting started, probably a couple hundred a month, I would say. So I'm personally not focusing on print on demand as much. It's kind of like a backseat side hustle for me, but it's definitely not like a primary moneymaker, excuse me, for me. But I know the opportunity is there. I know you know, if you grind it out and you really focus and you really kind of, zero in on what you're doing. So, hey Casey, just to give you some idea, we're doing a 30-day challenge, live stream challenge. So every day we're talking about a different business model on how to make money online. So, yeah, if you'd like to be a part of this challenge, it's totally free. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and yeah, come along with us. It's going to be a good time. So we're going live every day between now and July 12th. Yeah, it's a legitimate it's a legitimate business model, print on demand. I mean, people make thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. Um, so it's something where you really have to put in the effort though. Yeah, that's good advice. Definitely good advice, Norm. It's yeah, really to find out whatever your passion is, what you enjoy doing, what you have fun doing. If you can find a way to get paid for that, that's even better, right? That's the ultimate, getting paid to do what you love. And with so many opportunities online, just in general, like not beyond the scope of what we're talking about in this challenge here, um, there's just so many opportunities. Doesn't matter, I mean, certain things you need to be at least 18, but hey, Jibo, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. So I personally use Teespring. So I use Teespring for my print on demand. There's a couple other people in this community that use Etsy, um, a couple other platforms, Printify, Printful, but I personally use Teespring or Spring. They rebranded it Spring for some reason. I'm not sure. Are you currently doing print on demand, Jibo? Like, do you have you tried it out, or are you just kind of seeing what this is all about? I just want to take a sec real quick and just thank everybody who is really sorry. I want to thank everybody who's given me a chance and subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. It does mean a lot. Um, and we're trying to build a community here. So you're in the right place to learn about how to make money online um, and different side hustles. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, no worries. So, Casey, you're in the right place. So, yeah. Hey, Vincent, how you doing? Thank you so much for popping in. Yeah, I'm so excited that it's new to you guys. That's so cool. Um, so yeah, so Vincent, we kind of covered kind of some of the basics. Sweetums gave a lot of great insight and advice a little bit earlier in this live stream. So when the live is over, you can definitely go back and rewatch it if you like. But I do have I want to share this video that I made recently with you guys about print on demand. And so that way, if you're interested, you can you can take a look if you like. So everything on this channel is going to be free. So to a certain extent, you do have to pay for some tools here and there, but everything is transparent about what things cost and that kind of thing. So I like to really try to tackle everything that I show or we do tutorials on. I try to make it where it's very very simple, easy to follow, and so yeah, definitely. I mean, we'd love to have you be a part of this community. So if you want to follow, like Sweetums mentioned, we are doing a 30-day how to make money online challenge. Um, what we're basically doing is we're covering a different side hustle each day, a different way to make money online. So all you got to do if you want to come join us is subscribe to the channel and then just hit the notification bell. And then you'll be notified when we go live because we're going live every single day between now and July 12th. So, and I actually haven't seen this done. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we're actually on day four, Jibo. So here's what you missed so far. And don't worry because the lives are going to be up. So the lives are up. You can go back and watch the other ones. So day one, we covered affiliate marketing. Day two, we covered blogging. Day three, which was yesterday, we covered drop shipping. So, and then today is day four, we're covering print on demand. Yep. And then tomorrow, we're going to be covering on day five, we're going to be covering freelancing. So, yeah, so it's really just, the point of the challenge is not to deep dive like, you know, expert level advice and insight, that kind of thing. It's really just to kind of do a high level explanation of these side hustles, these different business models, so people can decide for themselves if they think they might want to try it out, or give it a shot. At least we're trying to educate the community on these different side hustles, so you can learn and be like, hey, maybe I want to try print on demand, or maybe I want to try affiliate marketing. um, so yeah, if you check out the channel, there's definitely a lot of material about graphic design and canvas stuff, affiliate marketing, side hustles. We talk about blogging on here. So yeah, no problem, Norbit. So yesterday's topic was drop shipping. Yep. So we talked about drop shipping yesterday, which is so interesting. It's so unique. There were some interesting people that popped on there, and they were talking about, I shared my experiences from when I drop shipped in like 2016, 2017. And there are some people talking about drop shipping like in today's climate in 2024, um, with TikTok, actually. So that was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to hear kind of how different people, like over the last, 6, 7 years, how drop shipping is kind of shifted. Yeah, but these are all like super unique topics. I mean, yeah, that's right. Yep. So, do you mean, do I do any like side hustles, like specifically side hustles? So, I would say YouTube and affiliate marketing. Those are the two things that I do. So, and actually, YouTube is going to be one of our topics that we cover next week. So, and it's not all about like, when it comes to YouTube, you definitely do not have to show your face. I mean, you can start a channel and you can have a faceless channel. We talk about YouTube automation. So I've been doing it for about YouTube for about a year and a half, give or take. I've been doing blogging for about 2 years and affiliate marketing for about 2 years. Yep. So I think I feel like people appreciate the transparency, but also like, the you tend to see the larger a channel gets, like the less and less information they're willing to share freely. So I told myself that, you know, I don't that's never gonna stop because I believe in, yeah, in print on demand. Thank you, Norbits. Um, I believe that you should always share information with everybody. And it doesn't make any sense to gatekeep information or to, hold it close to your chest, that kind of thing. Um, because I'm a firm believer in karma and trying to just put out, positivity and, trying to help others and that kind of thing. There's no ulterior motives. So, I just like being able to see, help people succeed. And I mean, obviously, I don't know everything. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know, I don't understand. Yep, exactly. Yep, that's how they do it. Is they give you a little bit of information and they're like, oh, sorry, you got to buy my course. You got to buy my course to get the real deal. And it's like, really? I mean, I'm not paying you, between $500 and like 2 grand for a course, when you could get all the information on YouTube for free. So, but it is hard to pack like really, really action packed video in like 12, 15, 20 minutes and get people to watch the entire thing, believe it or not. So, um, I've been recently trying to focus on a little shorter videos, like between 5 and 8 minutes. Yep. It totally is. It totally is. Yep. Yeah, I do. I do have a community actually. So we're trying to get the ball rolling on the community. It's a Facebook group. It's free. It's a public group. So you're more than welcome to join if you'd like to. Um, but it's probably the best way to kind of get some sort of like more one-on-one kind of more intimate like question like help. So feel free if you'd like to join that. That'd be awesome. We're trying to build it up now. I actually had a page and I thought that was a group, but I'm an idiot and I created a page that wasn't a group. So um, this way you can go on there and you can post, and you can write some stuff and that kind of thing. So yep. So that's the best way to reach us. So I really appreciate you guys coming in here and staying for a while and definitely giving me a chance. And so we've had some really great conversation. Um, the insight that Sweetums, she's one of our mods here, has given was just absolutely crucial and invaluable. So I haven't really taught Facebook on YouTube, but that's not a bad idea. I mean, awesome, cool. Thanks, Gibo. Appreciate that. Okay, that's cool. I just want to check in and see if you guys have any other questions here. So we got about 11 minutes or so before we drop out from the live. So um, just wanted to check in. It doesn't even have to be about print on demand. I mean, at this point, if you guys have any questions about the side hustles or anything, um, definitely feel free to just kind of let us know. So I'm definitely excited for whoever is interested to come along on this journey with us. Not necessarily a journey, but the challenge, a 30-day challenge. So the reason I really wanted to do it, I could talk about the challenge for a minute. Um, the reason I really wanted to do it was um, because I figured nobody else was doing this type of thing live, like on a live stream. So I really wanted to kind of start something that was really live. You could interact with the community, with people on the spot, and ask questions, interact, that kind of thing. Show examples. So that's kind of why I decided to do this 30-day challenge. Um, I haven't seen it done anywhere else. Like people do challenges, but they're like actual videos, so they don't do it like live, like a live stream every single day. So yeah, that's kind of why I want to do this. So oh, sorry, Norbits. Let's see. What'd you say? Have you tried applying for other PQD sites other than Teespring? So I didn't. I actually haven't personally. I know there's a lot of other ones out there for sure, but I haven't. I personally actually haven't. So Teespring is the only one that I'm on right now. So I kind of did that on purpose only because I never really gave my all. Like I was never really focused fully on print on demand. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna stick with Teespring for the moment. Um, but yeah, so Amazon is I I don't have anything for sale on Amazon, but I heard the same thing. It is difficult, and there's a lot to it to sign up to sell through Amazon. But what if you can stay patient and stay consistent and really kind of figure out your way through signing up for Amazon? I heard that it's I mean it's definitely it can definitely be lucrative for sure. Absolutely. Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you, Sweetums. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm not the best at short at doing shorts, but every time I do one, I'm like, oh, that sucked. Or it's like super cringy, like I think myself, that kind of thing. So but no, that's a great idea. That's definitely a good idea. And I will definitely think about that and consider doing that and be able to, extend, because I like the idea of a challenge because it's more along the lines of really on my side of things, it's to keep me on my toes and be able to kind of craft, this kind of skill of doing live stream and talking to a camera, that kind of thing for me individually, but also, it makes me more comfortable and it helps me learn when I'm researching for these different topics and these different business models that we're talking about. So not only do I learn, but I can share experiences. Thank you so much, Norman. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Um, So no, I mean it's exciting. It's always exciting learning something new, and um, like 30 of these business models or side hustles, whatever you want to call them, like it's pretty amazing that I just decided on 30 because I was thinking, well, that's usually like how long a month is. So I mean, but there's like endless amounts more. So I just picked 30 of them, and basically, that's kind of where we are. That's how we got here. So. Um, as far as like which ones were chosen, I didn't handpick any of these. Um, I just basically I kind of got some ideas and then I kind of rolled the dice and this is kind of what happened. So this is what came out of it. So yeah. So before we drop, I just wanted to wish everybody out there, if you are a father, a dad, stepdad, grandpa, anything, or if you're a caregiver for another individual, family loved one, I just want to wish everybody happy Father's Day. Hopefully wherever you are, whatever you do, you spend some time, with your loved ones, um, and whatever that means to you individually. Um, I just hope that you have a great day, this weekend. And I know it's difficult, sometimes, just with family and stuff. But um, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I definitely enjoy and I love doing this to where I can support you guys, so I wouldn't be doing this without you guys being here and being around me. So um, I appreciate it. Definitely goes both ways. Absolutely. Joy, you're welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Um, you guys definitely make this, you know, make it easy for me just to, I mean, and this is kind of like what, it's all about, right? I mean, the interaction and the chats and everything we're talking about makes me want to keep doing this, and it's definitely like energy and fuel to keep going. And being able to help other people is like the ultimate in my eyes, is the ultimate. So yeah, definitely. So tomorrow, I'm not exactly sure the time. It might be earlier like today because it's the weekend and I really just want to try to capitalize on um, not maybe getting a different kind of like crowd of people because it's earlier. Usually I do it like after dinner time, like kind of like later in the night. But So freelancing. Anybody who's interested in that, definitely come and hang out with us tomorrow. Freelancing is such an interesting thing because there's so many different facets. Thank you. Thank you so much, honey. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think for me personally, real quick, I think may go out to a restaurant kind of thing and just kind of hang out with the fam. So thank you, Sweetums. Definitely. So I just want to drop one more quick thing. And I'm always the worst at this, but I'm going to say it anyway. So our channel is not monetized. We don't make any money from YouTube. So there are a couple different ways that, you know, we can be supported basically, or you can support us. And this is no obligation, obviously, but I just want to put it out there. So at the very top of this live chat, we have a couple different ways. We have Buy Me a Coffee, we have Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. So um, that part always makes the view count drop. And you know, it just, hey, I don't do it. I'm not over here like begging for money. But what I'm saying is like, there's always, because YouTube isn't paying us. We're still working on getting monetized. Um, we got a long road to go, but with your guys' support, together, that's not what it's all about. I mean, that's not the end game, obviously, but you know, um, it's all good. So I just wanted to say thank you and give that a shout out. So if anybody, if feels obligated or whatever, okay, I'm done. I'm off the soapbox. I hate that crap. I hate the salesy stuff. But I at least wanted to mention it. So. And this probably nobody will probably see this because this is the very end of the live stream and people are already clicked off like an hour ago. So, hey Joy, so I do post on Instagram, not very much. I'm really trying to get into Instagram to try to build up a little bit more of a, kind of an experience and a following, mostly for me personally, so I can kind of track like life, that kind of thing. So you guys can kind of see more of like a behind the scenes. Um, so I would say just Instagram, but we do have a Facebook group. And that's free. Yep. So Facebook group is public. It's just, I'm trying to build this community, and that's probably the best way to get a hold of us in terms of like more one-on-one. So that way, yeah. So we can post, hey, Sweetums, do you have the link or do you want me to grab the link for the Facebook group? Yep. It's just a small community right now. So Joy is actually, it's my name. So Ryan Maddox, my name that comes up when I post a chat. And then it's got the words official group in the, like in parentheses. Yeah, sure. No worries. Yep. Okay. So here's a link for the group. Yep. No worries, Sweetums. No problem at all. There you go. Okay, cool. Sorry, I was just looking at the chat. So yeah, that's a Facebook group. Definitely small group right now, but sometimes that's a little better. So if you guys have any questions, if there's anything that you need to reach out to me for, you can always reply to a comment on any video and I'll reply to you within a day or so. The Facebook group is probably a little bit quicker. I'm not on Facebook like all day, every day kind of thing, but I do pop in a couple times a day just to check, see what's going on over there. So we are getting close. So before we close out, I'm gonna do one last kind of like roll call for any questions. Anybody have any questions about the challenge or anything that we got going on coming up here? So don't forget the live streams. They're going to be up. So if you happen to miss a couple days or whatever in between, and you just kind of pop around, don't worry about it. The live streams will be up, so you can always watch a replay if you'd like to. Um, so you're welcome, Norbits. Thank you very much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That definitely means a lot. I appreciate you guys being here. All right, everybody. I think that'll do it. My voice is starting to go out, actually. I need to get more of this cherry 7 up. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for giving me a chance. And for those that subscribed, I really appreciate it. I won't let you down, I promise. Um, Everybody have a good night, have a good day, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And thank you so much. We'll definitely see you on the next one. So tomorrow, freelancing. Yeah, definitely. Definitely Joy. I can definitely talk about that. So it'll probably I can talk about that one tomorrow or sometime next week. It's just my voice is going out. So, but I won't forget, okay? I promise. I won't forget. So, all right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much again for joining. Really appreciate it. Be safe out there. Okay, we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully tomorrow, but if not, we'll see you next time. All right, guys, see ya.